Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Lad. I'm your host, Jolie Marks, with today's top stories. Well, it seems to be the never-ending saga that carries on being the never-ending saga, and that is what is happening with the formation of Israel's government. As of midnight last night, who was Prime Minister designate but has now gone back to being the leader of Kahol V'Lavan, the blue and white, Benny Gantz handed his mandate back to President Rivlin after he failed to form a coalition within the allocated 28 days. So what happens now, you ask? Well, now the mandate will be given to all of the members of Knesset, and any one of them, including Gantz, including Netanyahu, will have the chance to try and cobble together some kind of coalition within 21 days. Failing that, Israel will immediately go to elections in March, making this the third set of elections in just 1 year. And of course, there has been a lot of controversy, a lot of apportioning of blame. This one blames this one in their party, that one blames that one in their party. But one thing is for sure, Israel still needs a government. Now, earlier today, Likud MK Gideon Sa'ar announced that he would like to move towards holding primaries within the Likud party. And this ignited quite a bit of tension when other members of the Likud party said that this will only lead to political uncertainty. Earlier, before the elections, Prime Minister Netanyahu had members of his Likud faction sign a letter of allegiance. We've also heard from the Speaker of the Knesset, Yuli Edelstein, who said that he will do everything within his limited power to try and break the deadlock taking place with forming a government. And just moments ago, Ayelet Sheked, the former Justice Minister and the leader of the New Right Party, Hayemin HaChadash, saying that after the Netanyahu era ends, she wants to be Israel's second Prime Minister that is a female. The first was the indomitable Golda Meir, who I wonder what she would have said about the deadlock taking place. So this is where we stand, and hopefully anybody, try and sort it out within the next 21 days. Looking now to a survey published by the Anti-Defamation League, alarming statistics coming out of 14 countries in Europe that were polled, and it's been found that 1 in 4 Europeans hold anti-Semitic views. This comes at a time when anti-Semitism is rising alarmingly throughout the world and taking on various guises, including the far right in countries like the Ukraine, Germany, Poland, the far left in countries like the United Kingdom, with all the debacle around the Labour Party, and also just what we're seeing as anti-Zionism as the new manifestation of anti-Semitism. And one of the comments made by people polled was that they feel that Jews are more loyal to Israel than their own countries. This, of course, propagates a very, very dangerous stereotype of dual loyalty. And anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic views were found to be the most prevalent in the Ukraine and in Poland. So very, very frightening statistics, and we really call upon governments to try and do their utmost to help us combat this rising hatred. Perhaps as a sign of this, Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, will be making her first ever visit to Auschwitz death camp, and it couldn't come at a more important time as Berlin has been dubbed Europe's most anti-Semitic city. Very, very worrying statistics coming from Europe indeed. But not all hope is lost. Yesterday we spoke about the Dutch Parliament voting against a mandatory decision by the European Court of Justice to label goods coming from the West Bank as such, or coming from the occupied territory. Well, the Dutch Parliament again has voted, this time to suspend aid to the Palestinian Authority. This comes after talks to cut wages to terrorists who've carried out activities against Israelis and their family did not end well. And in 2017, which are the latest statistics, it is known that the Palestinian Authority gave some $198 million in stipends to the families and to terrorists who've committed acts of terror against Israelis. So, as we say in Hebrew, kol hakavod to the Dutch for saying no to the funding of the economy of terror, and we hope that many other governments will follow suit. And one has to beg the question, imagine what $198 million could get you in terms of much needed infrastructure instead of propagating the economy of terror. Those are today's top stories, and I can't believe another week has ended, which means it's the weekend. And I know that you all love to read our content over the weekend as you relax, and you can read Dave Kaplan's very interesting article where he writes how South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has spoken of the importance of engaging Israel, especially in the high-tech sector, and that Israel leads in leaps and bounds. Read more there online, or read it on our Facebook page. And don't forget, every Friday we're in a different part of the country, and if you can guess where we are, you win a weekend off. But while you're on Facebook, like us, follow us, share our content, and invite your friends to join our community. And also, I noticed that our subscriber base is growing on YouTube. And thank you to everybody who is subscribing. And if you haven't, please do so. Look for us on the Israel Brief. Simply click on the subscribe button. And remember, the more people who subscribe, the more of Israel's side of the story we get to share to the world. I'm Rolene Marks, wishing you all a peaceful and a restful weekend. And if you are commemorating or celebrating, Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rolene Marks with the Israel Brief. Until next week.